It's just past 9 Tuesday morning, brought to you by the TSN team in just a moment. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel and give us a like. 36 attack drones targeted the south of Odisha region last night. According to preliminary information, one person was injured. The Russians launched the drones at midnight, flying low and under the cover of fog. They tried to strike energy facilities in the cities of Reni and Ismail. Local residents report fires after numerous impacts. There were also explosions last night in the Kharkiv and Zaporizhzhia regions. Kherson region came under enemy fire. 2 people were injured in Komishani and Priozerne. The Russians struck the ship district of Kherson, hitting a scientific institution. A female employee of the institution was injured. The occupiers also shelled residential buildings. Another city resident was hospitalized with blast injuries. 2 people were injured in the Dnipropetrovsk region. A man was injured in the Vasilkivska community, which was attacked by enemy drones. A private business and vehicles were damaged. An elderly woman was hospitalized in the Nikopol district. There, the occupiers attacked with artillery and drones. The injured woman is in moderate condition. In Russia, explosions were heard last night in Saratov and Engels. Russian sources report a drone attack and a fire at the Saratov oil refinery. The head of the region confirmed the strike on the infrastructure. Local residents say they heard at least 5 explosions. A day of searches. The National Anti-Corruption Bureau and the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office carried out a large-scale operation to expose corruption in the energy sector. Numerous photos of bags filled with money were published by NABU on its Telegram channel. The individuals involved are being described as a high-level criminal organization that built a corrupt scheme to influence strategic state-owned enterprises, including Energoatom, and received up to 15% kickbacks from its contracts. NABU reported that the losses from the scheme amounted to nearly $100 million. To launder the money, they used an office in the city center that belonged to a former fugitive member of parliament. And now it belongs to Russian Senator Andriy Derkak. The president's office stated that punishment must be inevitable for everyone involved. TSN correspondent Alexander Romanyuk will continue.
We'll stop here and won't build any more protective structures. I'd wait, but honestly, it's a shame to waste the money. Such an audio recording was published today on the social media pages of NABU and ESAP. In it, several figures involved in the large-scale corruption case in the energy sector make these claims. As proof of the scale, they are publishing photos of bags filled with money. There are both foreign currency and hryvnias here. They were seized today.
Today we are conducting the final stage of this operation, 70 searches. The entire staff of the National Bureau has been involved in the investigative actions.
This morning, several media outlets reported on the searches being conducted by the National Anti-Corruption Bureau. In particular, the investigative actions concern the former Minister of Energy, now Minister of Justice Herman Halushchenko, and his former advisor Ihor Meironiok. TSN has also sent inquiries regarding information about a search at the businessman Timur Mindic's premises. NABU has not yet responded to the request. The detectives are also not disclosing the names of the suspects at this time. Meanwhile, starting from 10 a.m., NABU's Telegram channel began posting text and video messages with details about the energy case. As a result of the work carried out,
thousands of hours of audio recordings have been obtained, which serve as evidence of the activities of a high-level criminal organization operating in the energy and defense sectors.
Operation Midas, that's what NABU detectives are calling this case. They say the individuals involved include a former advisor to the Minister of Energy, the Executive Director for Physical Protection and Security at JSC NNEGC Energoatom, a businessman, and 4 employees from the back office who laundered the received funds. According to the detectives, the scheme looked as follows. The individuals involved had information about Energoatom's contracts and their counterparties. And it was from these counterparties that they demanded kickbacks ranging from 10 to 15%. If they refused to pay, they were threatened with blocked payments or the revocation of their supplier status.
Company employees implemented a so-called shot bomb scheme. You either pay the kickback or you get your payments for completed work blocked and lose your approved supplier status with Energoatom.
Just tell him, look, the entire line of the company will come to an end. You'll just end up on the blacklist, you'll be wiped out, that's it. All your employees will be drafted into the army. According to NABU, the individuals involved, although they had no official authority, controlled personnel decisions at Energoatom as well as procurement and financial flows thanks to their connections in the government.
In fact, a system was created in which a strategic enterprise with revenues of over 200 billion hryvnias was managed not by the top managers, the supervisory board, or the state as the owner, but by an outsider who, without any formal authority, assumed the role of a shadow manager, the so-called overseer.
Energoatom confirmed the searches and stated that they are fully cooperating with detectives in all episodes. Just last week, the Bureau reported another possible case of corruption in the company. A deputy general director of one of the branches was detained while attempting to receive a bribe. Whether the suspects in the Midas case have been served with notices of suspicion, NABU has not yet reported. Instead, they promise to soon release further facts about the case. Alexander Romaniuk, TSN 1+1.
The president of Ukraine has stated that punishment for participants in the corruption scheme at Energoatom is inevitable. In his address, Volodymyr Zelensky called on government officials to cooperate with law enforcement.
Everyone who was involved in creating these schemes must receive a clear procedural response, verdicts. There must be results, and government officials must work together with NABU, together with law enforcement agencies, and work in the way that is necessary to achieve results.
You are watching TSN. To stay informed about the main news, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell. And now I continue with the news broadcast. The oldest mother in Ukraine has passed away at the age of 81. Valentina Pidverbna became famous throughout the country after giving birth to a daughter at the age of 65. It was artificial insemination. From the moment the child was born, the press and the public paid close attention to the woman. And as the girl grew up, her mother's case was constantly in the courts. Nevertheless, the daughter was present at the farewell to Valentina Pidverbna. Death came due to age and illness. Valentina Pidverbna's 15-year-old daughter will remain with her guardian's family until she reaches adulthood. They are working on new ways to increase pressure on Putin. The European Commission commented on the progress of the 20th package of sanctions against Russia. Brussels emphasizes that they are constantly working to support Ukraine in the energy sector and with military aid. They are also continuing to work with partner countries to mobilize further support. The fate of frozen Russian assets is a subject of discussion in the European Union. The idea of preparing so-called reparations loans using these funds is currently facing resistance from Belgium, where a significant portion of the aggressor country's money is frozen. The Belgians fear lawsuits from Moscow if they use its money. Therefore, EU countries are considering other options as well, such as bilateral loans or assistance from individual member states. For example, the media recently reported that Norway could provide collateral of 100 billion euros from its sovereign wealth fund. This could become a turning point in the creation of the loan. EU countries may agree on the details as early as the end of the year at a European Council meeting. Another of Trump's peace deals has fallen through. Thailand has suspended its agreement with Cambodia regarding the ceasefire. The agreement lasted only a few weeks. The reason for the breakdown was the wounding of soldiers as a result of a landmine explosion near the Cambodian border. The Prime Minister of Thailand stated that the security threat to his country has not diminished. Meanwhile, Cambodia insists that it remains committed to the agreement, which was supposed to ensure security and to ensure lasting peace after the border clashes. The conflict between the two countries has been ongoing for over a century, with deadly confrontations occurring over many years. This summer, 300,000 people were forced to leave their homes. In July, the countries agreed to a ceasefire, and in October, they signed a peace agreement in the presence of U.S. President Donald Trump. At that time, the politician boasted that it was he who had achieved the truce. A Ukrainian defender gave birth at the age of 52. A healthy baby girl was born at St. Anna's Hospital in Lviv. The mother herself is from Kryvyi Rih, according to the medical facility. She joined the armed forces of Ukraine at the start of the full-scale invasion. She served in the separate presidential brigade named after Hetman Bohdan Khmelnytsky. On the front line, she evacuated the wounded and provided them with medical assistance. In 2023, Natalia met Serhiy, a driver and mechanic from another brigade. And already in 2024, the couple got married. Both have adult children from previous relationships, but they decided they wanted to have children together. And this March, the couple found out that the woman was expecting. By cesarean section, the servicewoman gave birth to a daughter weighing 2.5 kilograms and measuring 48 centimeters in length. They named the girl Solomia. At this moment, that was the latest update. Don't miss our next TCH broadcast to stay informed about current events.